There is a law. It cannot be seen, it cannot be touched, and yet it shapes every second of your life. It governs your desires, it filters your memories, it defines your relationships. You wake up each day under its rule, and you don't even know it. This is the first Hermetic principle. Everything you see, everything you fear, everything you want is a mental projection. Not a physical reality, but a hologram of your mind. The ancients believed that before there was matter, before there was light, there was consciousness. Carl Jung called it the collective unconscious, a deep, vast field where dreams, symbols, and archetypes live, a space where your thoughts are not just yours, but echoes from something older. Imagine this. You are standing in front of a mirror, but the reflection is not yours. It is the sum of every thought you've ever had, every belief you've inherited, every fear you never questioned. That reflection is your life. Lucia Helena Galvão once said, "We don't live what we are, we live what we believe we are." This is the trap of the mental law. You're dreaming, but the dream isn't yours. So ask yourself, who taught you how to think? Who taught you what's possible and what isn't? Was it your parents, your teachers, your God, or was it your trauma? If reality is mental, then every thought you accept becomes a brick in the prison you call identity. But here's the secret the Hermetists understood. If the mind creates the world, then the world can be recreated. Your outer reality is not fixed. It is a projection of your inner state. Control the source, and you control the simulation. Carl Jung warned us, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. What you ignore owns you. The shadows you avoid shape your relationships, your success, your future. The law of mentalism is not just about thought. It's about power, perceptual power. Every image you consume, every word you repeat, becomes a ritual, a neurosymbolic program, a mantra you didn't know you were chanting. Scrolling on your phone, you're inside a digital spell. Watching television, you're being hypnotized by someone else's frequency. You think you're in control, but your thoughts have been hijacked. So how do you break free? You don't escape the mind. You reclaim it. You become the operator, not the observer. And to do that, you must go within, not through logic, but through symbol, through silence, through shadow. Start by watching your thoughts, not judging them, just observing them, like clouds drifting across a night sky. Then go deeper. Find the voices that aren't yours. The beliefs that were installed, the patterns you inherited. Dismantle them, one by one. Remember, the mind is a mirror, but mirrors can be cleaned. And when you do, you stop living someone else's life. You begin creating from within, from intention, from clarity, from truth. That's when the law changes. Not because it bends, but because you finally understand how to use it. There is no savior coming, no final answer, no shortcut. The world will not change for you, unless you change the lens you use to see it. You are not a victim of reality. You are the architect of perception. The Hermetists knew this. Jung knew it. Galvão knew it. Now, it's your turn. The law of mentalism is not a theory. It is a mirror, a ritual, a weapon, and a liberation. The only question is, will you keep dreaming, or will you wake up? The all is mind. Learn to think or be thought.
What if the greatest minds in history have been whispering the same truth, hidden beneath layers of metaphor and philosophy? What if they all pointed to a single unseen law, that reality itself is born in the mind. This is the story of philosophers who, without ever uttering the words Hermetic Law, echoed its essence through time. Welcome to the Unseen Laws. Today we uncover the silent fingerprints of the first Hermetic principle across the thoughts of the world's greatest thinkers. The first Hermetic law says, "The all is mind, the universe is mental." This idea that everything is mental, that the entire cosmos is a projection of consciousness, has been explored in many ways across history. Let's begin with Plato. Plato believed the physical world was not the true reality. He taught that everything we see is a shadow, a reflection of a higher, invisible world of ideas. In his philosophy, the real world is not material, it is mental. He called this realm the world of forms, a place where perfect, eternal ideas exist beyond space and time. He wrote, "Everything that exists in the visible world is a copy of an eternal idea." For Plato, our senses deceive us. The truth lies in thought, in reason, in the mind. And in this way, Plato unknowingly echoed the first Hermetic law. Next came Plotinus. Centuries after Plato, Plotinus expanded on this idea through his philosophy of Neoplatonism. He spoke of the One, a mysterious, indescribable source of all things. From the One flows the nous, the divine mind, and from that mind, the universe unfolds. Creation, for Plotinus, is not a physical event. It is a mental emanation. He wrote, "The One is all things and no one of them. It is the fountain of all existence." Again, we see the idea that all comes from a supreme consciousness, not matter, but mind. Now we move forward in time to René Descartes. Descartes doubted everything. He even questioned whether the physical world existed. But he found one truth he couldn't deny: "I think, therefore I am." To Descartes, thought was the only undeniable reality. He believed everything, even the body, the world, and space itself, could be illusions. But the mind, the thinking self, was real. This radical doubt brought him to the same foundation as the Hermetic principle. The mental world is primary. Consciousness comes before all. In the 18th century, George Berkeley took this even further. Berkeley claimed that physical objects do not exist independently of perception. To him, to exist is to be perceived. A tree that falls in the forest, unheard and unseen, does not exist, unless it is perceived by a mind. And if no human sees it, then God perceives it. Berkeley argued that all things exist within the infinite mind of God. This is pure. But this law is not just theoretical. It is not only for mystics, philosophers, or those who live in the clouds. Understanding and living by the first Hermetic principle, that the universe is mental, can transform your life in real, powerful ways. Let's explore some of the benefits this law offers to those who apply it. First, you reclaim your power. If the world begins in the mind, then your mind is not a prisoner of the world. It is a creator. No matter your past, your circumstances, or the limits others try to impose, your thoughts shape your experience. You are not merely reacting to life. You are designing it. The Hermetic path teaches, master the mind, and you master your world. Let the mind drift, and you become a slave to chaos. Second, you become emotionally resilient. When you recognize that reality is filtered through thought, you gain space between stimulus and response. You learn that emotions don't control you, they are created by interpretation. By mastering your inner dialogue, you can face fear, pain, and failure with greater strength. You begin to ask, what meaning am I assigning to this moment? What belief is shaping this feeling? In that question lies your freedom. Third, you escape the illusion of permanence. Everything in the outer world changes, but the mind, the conscious observer, is what remains. This understanding helps you detach from what is temporary and focus on what is eternal. You stop chasing shadows and begin to seek essence. This brings clarity,